Greetings gamers, I've got a new video here for you. Today it is the Bone Reaper Magnum 3. Try to walk you through a little bit of the design. Up front here I have an angular design to this particular tech. It used to be a little bit flatter here, but I found that aesthetically I like the angular design a little bit better, and plus, as it turns out, sticking out the wheel just a little bit further helps us get up the occasional hill. Now, if you in your game world, if you've noticed some kind of sawtooth type transitions, it's still very hard for the Bone Reaper series to get up those transitions, but a lot of the smoother transitions of hills and different terrains, this will get up at just fine. Okay, so you also have the drill bits up front here that's located to try to help you with any sort of trees or rocks that get in your way. Down the center, or the spine if you will, of the vehicle, I've put these venture tracks that have become pretty necessary to get around in some of the terrain, because as good as these wheels are, sometimes the only thing that will give you traction are these treads down here. Now on the side I've got the monster truck wheels, and underneath those on the exterior of the vehicle I've got a lot of these tanks. Initially I didn't want to put those there, but because I thought they might explode, but in testing usually they don't take too much damage. A lot of the damage has come from the up front area, and I've tried to put as many of these denser Hawkeye blocks up here up front to try to absorb any sort of incoming impact. That's also why if I zoom out here, you'll kind of notice this little bit of an angular design with the Hawkeye shielding. I've done that as well because some hits will kind of come at an angle, so I've tried to put as many shields as I could there and still maximize the battery capacity that I had. Okay, so that's the wheels. Now around here you'll notice I put some of those, I believe these are called the 0-point rotors. I put those around to try to boost up the cruising speed. I've also situated on the exterior of the vehicle a few of these solar generators. Initially, if I remove the panel back here, what I tried to do was actually locate, if you see back in there, tried to locate these as all the solar generators on the inside, but that really cut down on the battery and the fuel capacity that I had. Put that back in place there. Okay, here is the magnet rack, and usually how this works is after you take out a tech, you can reverse. This magnet bar here will draw in the blocks for you. You just go into build beam, and then these two mobile SCUs down here will start to acquire all the blocks from your defeated techs. The rear, I've got the flamethrower, the machine gun, and also the 360 shotgun for rear protection. Further, I've got I think it's 8 of these cluster missiles, and what I've noticed is that even though the cruise missiles are pretty good about taking out techs at a distance, usually it's these cluster missiles when your enemy is in closer range that will just kind of do a harpoon missile launch at an arc and be able to hit a lot of the techs that are closer to you better than what these cruise missiles are. Cruise missiles usually they have to be a little bit more in front of you. Talking about the front, I've got this cannon arc here. I could have put more missiles in here and more cannons, but what I've tried to do is on the front end I've tried to reduce the weight but still give it pretty bit of more of a formidable design, and the cannons usually do a good job of dealing out their damage in unison with these seeker missiles. But I would have to say the damage that this doles out does primarily come from all of its cruise missiles. Now right here, this is the Hawkeye SEU, and I put this here for more of an aesthetic choice because it makes it look like it's something more of a nuclear powered tech. In the sides here, I've got Hawkeye weapons for side defense and also a little bit of offensive capability. In the rear section, back here, you'll gather up the resources, any sort of fuel chunks can either get refined or bypass the refinery to get in one of 3 generators that I've located in this section. And all the non-fuel types will be sold off and mobile back here. I've also put several of the Venture, and I believe I also have some Hawkeye boosters on here as well. They're just located more in the interior of the vehicle. I know one of them's under here. And that looks about it. Might be a little bit of concern for some folks that I've put all these fuel tanks on the exterior, but usually these shields do a pretty good job of preventing any sort of damage to the wheels. Okay, let's take this out and see how she does. First I have to unanchor her. I was talking a little bit earlier, we just back up. The build beam, start sucking up all the rocks. This is really why she is called Bone Weaver, so that when you defeat your enemy techs, you can gather the remains, or bones if you will. Death Alley here, a little bit of a run through. Go. As you can see, we took a bit of damage on the front end, but a lot of these blocks were able to absorb the impact. Put those suckers up. Here. There we go. Alright folks, thanks a lot for watching the video. Hope you have a nice day. Take care.